So I have here, if you're wondering what this is, I have 5 jars. They all got water in them. Okay, so this was just for display purposes. Man, this thing always gets stuck. Do you ever have this problem with your vanilla? We're gonna do about a tablespoon, or not a tablespoon, that would be a lot of vanilla. We're gonna do a teaspoon of vanilla. Konnichiwa, Pat Tokuyama here at All Day Like a Shark, where I share my Japanese cooking videos once a week, showing you how to make Japanese food. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing for more videos like this one. Today what we're going to be doing is making matcha pudding, and I have all of my ingredients here ready to go. So first things first, we can start with the matcha, one of the most important ingredients. This is Aya matcha, cooking grade. That's what we're going to be using today. We're going to use about 7 to 8 grams worth, which is roughly 1.5 tablespoons worth, which I have right here. I have 3 eggs and then 1 egg yolk. We're going to go ahead and combine that right now. You can use up to 2 extra egg yolks instead of just 1 extra egg yolk. That'll make it a little bit more richer. Totally up to you though. And then I have some sugar here, which we're going to add. This is about 4 tablespoons, but I'm actually going to be sweetening this up with a little bit of whipped cream, maybe some azuki, which is another option, or kuromitsu. So kuromitsu, if you aren't familiar with that, it's made with, let me go ahead and drop this in first before I keep talking. If you want it on the sweeter side, you could do up to 6 tablespoons of sugar. If you don't like it too sweet, stick with a 1/4 cup. Kuromitsu is made with the Okinawan black sugar. I have some here on the stove. That's what we're going to be topping our pudding with, as well as a little bit of whipped cream, maybe some azuki, I don't know yet. That's going to be our dessert. Very delicious. Question of the day, have you ever made matcha pudding before? Pudding is the Japanese pronunciation of pudding. So pudding is how you'd say it in Japanese. There's the standard egg custard pudding with a little bit of caramel sauce, which is just as delicious. Today we're using matcha. So let's go ahead and finish mixing everything together. Like I said, 3 eggs, 1 egg yolk, 4 tablespoons of sugar, and then we're going to go ahead and add in the milk. This is about 1 3/4 cup whole milk. You always want to use whole milk when you're making pudding. Makes a big difference. So this was just for display purposes. I was measuring how much water I needed to put in so that it would be filled up about halfway up the jar. Because what we're going to do after we cook everything is we're going to combine all the ingredients together and we're going to cook it on the stove until just before a boil, and then we're going to steam it in this hot water bath covered. Let's go ahead and turn on the heat there and finish putting our ingredients together. So now we're just going to add everything to the pot. So we're just going to bring this to just before simmer, and then the last thing that we're going to do is add in the matcha powder. I'm actually just going to put it right back in here. It's totally fine. We're going to bring this up to just before a boil, so about 160 degrees-ish, like we do for ice cream. We're going to do a teaspoon of vanilla. That'll help to give it a little bit more of a complex flavor. Madagascar vanilla. So I'm going to get this ready again. So as soon as this starts to begin to simmer, it's going to be about 165, 175-ish degrees, just like we would cook a custard for ice cream. Then it'll be ready to mix together with this, and then we'll put it into these little jars, and then we're actually going to steam it for about 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and get this heated, bring that up to temperature, and we can put this over here so that the jars are actually ready. I'm actually just going to go ahead and whisk this to make sure all of the sugar has dissolved. Once the custard has about started to steam, we're going to go ahead and put it back in here, mix in all the matcha, and then pour it into these little canning jars. Steam it for about 15 minutes, remove it, and then allow it to cool, and then chill it in the fridge. And then we can top it with our kuromitsu, as well as the whipped cream if you want to use that, or azuki, which is the sweet red bean, or even ice cream. It's totally up to you. There's a lot of different ways that you can eat it. Actually, just going to check the temperature really quick. Should be about 165, 175-ish. And as soon as it hits that, that means the custard is just about done. So it's at 150 right now, so give that another second or so. Alright, so it's almost there, 160, so we'll give it about another minute or so, and then we can combine it all, and then we will be on our way. Okay, so I think that looks good to me. Make sure all the goods are off to the side. I'm going to add it back in here. Okay, so now we're just going to finish whisking till the matcha is incorporated. You know what? I'm going to actually have to use the immersion blender. Gotten a little chunky. So if you find that your matcha powder has not dissolved or it's being clumpy, you can just use a blender and whisk it all together. Alright, so that looks very smooth to me now. That's what you want. And we're going to go ahead and put this into each of these containers here. Try to do it evenly if you can. So that looks good to me. Go ahead and put these into the water bath, and then we'll steam for about 15 minutes. Sure that it's on a simmer, and I'll see you back in about 15 minutes. Okay guys, so my custards are just about done. We're going to go ahead and take these out, put them on my little baking sheet, and allow them to cool. So once these have cooled, we can go ahead and top them with a little bit of kuromitsu whipped cream, azuki beans, or you can just eat it straight. All of our hard work is done. Be careful because these might be hot. Alright guys, so here it is. This is my matcha pudding in the canning jar, just waiting to be chilled for a little bit. Cannot wait to eat this. This is gonna be so delicious, especially if you like matcha and pudding. It's a great combination. See you in a bit. Alright guys, so my matcha pudding has cooled overnight and it's ready to be eaten. So we're gonna go ahead and undo these little lids. So here's the kuromitsu topping, as well as the matcha pudding underneath. Go ahead and have a taste test here. It's not really a test, I know it's gonna taste good. This right here is the bomb. If you like matcha, if you like pudding, it's like the best of both worlds with a little bit of kuromitsu, which is syrup that I made with the Okinawan black sugar, and it's super delicious. You guys are gonna love this if you have a sweet tooth, and if you like matcha, if you like pudding, even if you've had neither of those, this is your gateway dessert into that world. So if you want to see more videos like this one for this dessert and other Japanese desserts, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the alarm bell for notifications for when I post new videos, and other than that, I'll see you in my next video. Jane, bye bye. Thanks for watching. Smells like pudding, one of my favorite desserts. I don't know about you guys, but I love pudding. Pudding. Pudding, pudding, pudding. Ah! Made a mess. Made another mess. Disaster strikes. Dun dun dun.